Our lead story tonight, well, street battles in Kolkata today as it was the BJP versus Trinamool. Clashes erupted as the BJP planned an anti-corruption march leading to the secretariat in the Chief Minister's office. The police used water cannons and tear gas to stop the protests. On camera also, the protesters burning a police vehicle. So is this all a build-up to what's going to be Battle 2024 in West Bengal?
Water cannons fired by the police here, and now across the police lane in a lathi charge as the BJP protesters gather. So the police force now embarking on a lathi charge after firing water cannons. This is of course in the Howrah Bridge area of Kolkata, where you can see the police had set up barricades. Water cannons, tear gas, lathi charge as BJP workers tried to cross the Howrah Bridge. The police using force after multiple announcements asking BJP workers, led by Dilip Ghosh and Darjeeling MP Raju Bista, not to proceed towards the state secretariat. The BJP's march to Nabanna movement being led by leaders like Dilip Ghosh. Also in the pictures you can see Darjeeling MP Raju Bista, who's also joining this march. At this point the march is progressing along Harrison Road. Now the police say they will not be allowed to go up to Nabanna, which is the state secretariat. The BJP is adamant on marching right up to Nabanna. As the police dispersed the protesters, some angry BJP workers carrying flags headed back towards the road they had marched on a little while earlier and set a car on fire. So incidents of arson during the BJP protest in Kolkata. A police car set on fire and completely burnt, as you can see. Smoke still coming out of parts, and you can see the water is still spraying to stop the car from burning further. Leaders like Suvendu Adhikari and Lockit Chatterjee were detained early in the day as they tried to get to Nabanna, the state secretariat.
Don't touch my body, no. I'm individual.
The Trinamool Congress in cashing on this exchange of Suvendu Adhikari with a policewoman.
Don't touch my body. You are lady. You are ma. Don't touch my body.
Earlier in the day, the police had announced diversions and blocked both bridges over the river Hooghly, leading to massive traffic jams across the city. The Trinamool alleged the protesters were brought in from outside the state.
আর কর্মীহীন একটা পার্টি শুধু কিছু এজেন্সির দ্বারা আর আপনাদের প্রচার যন্ত্রের দ্বারা একটা পার্টি বেঁচে আছে।
টিয়ার গ্যাস ছুঁড়েছে, লাঠি চালিয়েছে, ইট পাথরও মেরেছে। তা আমরা বলেই দিয়েছিলাম কর্মীদের কোনো উত্তেজনা করবেন না, প্রতিক্রিয়া করবেন না। শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে তারা এসেছিলেন এবং শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে অবস্থান করেছেন, আন্দোলন করেছেন। পুলিশের সঙ্গে তারা ঝগড়াও করেননি। এই অবধি এসেছি আমরা, পুলিশ যতদূর আসতে দিয়েছে এরপরে এখান থেকে আমরা স্থগিত করে দিচ্ছি।
In Kolkata with camera person GD Shankar, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
So all that political action today on Kolkata's streets, but where there will be the major focus on diplomatic action will be at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit being held in Samarkand, Uzbekistan from the 15th, that's this Thursday. And in attendance will be Prime Minister Modi, also China's President Xi and Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Pakistan's Prime Minister is also leading a delegation at the summit. Now, there are no formal one-on-one meetings scheduled yet, but of course, all these leaders will be together at various events. And the Indian envoy to Uzbekistan told NDTV this summit is important for India and the world. Maha Siddiqui reports.
I have with me India's ambassador to Uzbekistan, Manish Prabhat. Many thanks for speaking with NDTV. First of all, I want to ask you about the message that will be sent out from this SCO summit. It's happening in person after a period of pandemic, big leaders coming here, and especially in the current geopolitical situation that we are seeing.
Yes, you are correct. The summit has generated a lot of excitement, and leaders of 15 countries are gathering in Samarkand. Of course, there's a lot of excitement that Prime Minister of India is coming. We are very happy that Prime Minister is visiting Samarkand. His last visit to Uzbekistan was in 2016. Of course, SU summit is very important for us. It is important for all the entire world, so as to say. And India is also the incoming chair of SCO. So by Prime Minister's coming in person to attend the summit, despite all his preoccupations which may be, there's a big message that India attaches a lot of importance to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And as the incoming chair, India would work and contribute positively to the positive expansion of SCO agenda. India and Uzbekistan are strategic partners. So, of course, there is a desire on part of India and Uzbekistan to expand our partnership in all possible fields, political relations, economy, trade and investment, defense cooperation, security cooperation, education, humanitarian exchanges. Afghanistan is of course very important because both India and Uzbekistan are important stakeholders in peace and stability in Afghanistan.
Prime Minister Modi in Uzbekistan for the SCO summit, but all eyes are keenly trained on whether there'll be any sort of engagement with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. All those updates on NDTV live from Uzbekistan.
Thanks so much for that, Maha. The other big headline today is the Gujarat government has bagged a major project, a semiconductor plant by Vedanta and Foxconn. The Prime Minister tweeted saying the 1.54 lakh crore investment in the semiconductor plant will boost the economy and jobs. But of course, the larger message is that India is racing to build up its semiconductor independence to combat the China dominance. Semiconductors and chips used for so many issues like mobile phones, cars, computers. So India racing to be Atmanirbhar in this, as Vedanta's chairman Anil Agarwal tweeted.
A 1.5 lakh crore semiconductor plant project coming up in Gujarat, which goes to elections soon. Oil to metals firm Vedanta signed a deal with Foxconn in the presence of Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. Vedanta says the project will create 1 lakh direct jobs with production starting in 2 years. If that happens, it will be India's first display semiconductor manufacturing plant. It aims to reduce India's semiconductor import dependency.
आज पूरी दुनिया में एक ही चीज का नाम होता था सिलिकॉन वैली, सिलिकॉन वैली, सिलिकॉन वैली, और वो बाय एंड लार्ज इंडियन से डोमिनेटेड है. सबसे बड़ी बात तो अपने यंगस्टर को बोलना चाहता हूं कि आप जॉब मांगना बंद कर दें, आप जॉब देना चालू करें. कि गुजराती एक ऐसा जगह है जिसने सिलिकॉन पॉलिसी सबसे पहले निकाली.
In a close race, Gujarat beat Maharashtra to be chosen for the plant. Vedanta's shares gained 2.7% after the announcement. According to the government's data, India's semiconductor needs of around 1.1 lakh crore are currently being met through imports due to an absence of commercial producers in India. These chips are building blocks for many electronic devices ranging from smartphones to modern cars. Global shortage of semiconductors after the pandemic caused long waiting periods for cars that we're still seeing. This plant aims to be a step towards reducing India's import dependency. We'll see how much of that gets realized in just a few years. Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.
Thanks, Priyanshi. Well, moving to sad news from Secunderabad, where 8 people were killed in a hotel after the basement where there was an electric vehicle unit caught fire. The minister there said that this was caused because too many vehicles, mainly electric scooters, were being charged in this basement, which led to a short circuit. Then there was a fire, but what actually killed the people in the hotel was the huge smoke which came out of the blaze.
Worst nightmare for guests at a Secunderabad hotel on Monday night. As smoke following a suspected short circuit in the basement engulfed the upper floors. Those who tried to run out fell unconscious. Few others tried to jump to safety. Crane ladders rescued some others.
There are 4
floors of the lodge which have 23 rooms. So the entire smoke which has come out has spread through the staircase into the other floors.
The authorities suspect charging of electric vehicles kept in the basement caused the accident.
काफी गाड़ियां नीचे रखी हुई है, मैं समझता हूँ अभी भी 30-35 गाड़ी रखे हुए। हमको ऐसा अंदाजा रखा है कि वो बैटरी चार्जिंग जो लगाई गई उसमें किसी वजह से ज्यादा लोड होने से शॉर्ट सर्किट होगा, वो बैटरी जल गई, उसका धुआं, आग से ज्यादा कोई नुकसान नहीं हुआ, धुएं से जान चलेगी लोगों की, उसका बहुत दुख है हमें।
In this multi-story building that had the hotel on top and the showroom and the basement as well, the basement was being used in fact as a godown, and that's why other than the electric vehicles whose charging may have caused the fire, there are also 5 gas cylinders and also batteries that may have also emitted smoke. It is the smoke and not the flames that seem to have caused the major disaster and the deaths. The police are now investigating what went wrong that turned the building into a death trap.
There are firefighting equipments in the building, but the sprinklers are also there. But sprinklers will work only when the temperature goes beyond a certain point. Because there was no fire on the upper floors and only smoke was there, so sprinklers naturally they won't work. And there is only one staircase, and the smoke travelled through the staircase.
A case has been registered against the owner of the electric scooter showroom and the manager of the hotel. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagaraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
A needless tragedy there. In other news, Mukul Rohatgi, senior advocate, is all set to return as Attorney General of India. NDTV has learned that 67-year-old Rohatgi will assume office on October the 1st. The current AG, 91-year-old KK Venugopal's extended tenure ends on the 30th of September. Mr. Rohatgi served as Attorney General under the NDA government from 2014 to 2017. He had earlier represented the Gujarat government in the 2002 riots cases. He also defended the BJP government as AG in the Triple Talaq, Aadhaar and the National Judicial Accountability Commission cases. He went back to private practice from 2017. And he was also the special public prosecutor in the Judge Loya death case and appeared against the BJP government in a prevention of money laundering case last year. Also represented Aryan Khan in a narcotics case before the Bombay High Court. Well, currently it's Mission Gujarat with the Prime Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah and Arvind Kejriwal also touring the state. Today he said with 2 months left, AAP is coming, saying that the Gujarat cops should be warned that they should not support the BJP. But he also snapped in retort to this question where he was asked whether Medha Patkar would be AAP's chief ministerial candidate. Here's what he said.
मैंने सुना है कि मोदी जी के बाद वो सोनिया गांधी को पीएम कैंडिडेट बना रहे हैं भाजपा वाले, उस पे उनसे पूछना क्या कहेंगे वो। मेरे प्रश्न को पूछना, उनसे हिम्मत करना थोड़ी सी आप। मैं जानता हूं कि डर लगेगा आपको। अगली प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में उनसे पूछना कि केजरीवाल ने आरोप लगाया है कि आप मोदी जी का सक्सेसर सोनिया गांधी जी को नेशनल लेवल पे पीएम कैंडिडेट बनाने जा रहे हैं, उनका उस पे क्या कहना है। दूसरा क्वेश्चन, हम सारी सीटों पे चुनाव लड़ेंगे, सारी सीटों पे।
Arvind Kejriwal in Gujarat there. Meanwhile, in other news, the demolition drive in Bengaluru after the unprecedented flooding and waterlogging in the IT corridor of Bengaluru is stepping up. And now the local corporation has come out with a list of VIP encroachers, including a Congress MLA. For all of them, bulldozers are the answer being given by the local authorities.
High-profile corporates include Wipro, Prestige, Ecospace, Bagmane Tech Park, Columbia Asia Hospital, Divyashree Villas and others in the list of Bengaluru's violators who allegedly encroached on stormwater drains. There are political names too, and some of them are facing action. Congress Youth President Mohammed Nalapad Academy International School, for example. We asked the chief engineer how the violations went unnoticed so far.
If the drain was existence, we would have maintained it. Since the drain was not existed at all, so we called the revenue department to show us the alignment.
You mean to say it went unnoticed?
Yeah.
The residents of this 4-story building rushed out of the homes in panic when the compound wall was raised, apparently without any notice.
So at least they have to give the notice and all. At least the owner should tell us.
So you were sleeping and when the...
Because of this noises itself, I just woke up and then I started calling my friends and all.
Okay, without having any concern that there are people inside, they began the demolition.
The authorities say the building has no municipal sanction, but the owner insists he got the go-ahead.
Which authority approved? Which authority approved?
कन्वर्शन कापी दिया है ना बीबीएमपी वाला ने
No permission has been given so far. Here on this Rajkal West, these people have not at all taken any sort of permission, and the authorities will not at all permitted to give the permissions. So some tenants are there. As per the Revenue Act under Section 104, the Tahsildar has to give the notice to them. So after vacating all this, whatever the structures are there, that we will demolish.
Whichever party is in power, correcting the wrongs of the past when it comes to encroachment and violations is far from easy. The common man invariably pays the price for it. In Bengaluru, with Kumar Shrija for NDTV.
A quick look at other news. Well, the markets are at a 5-month high, up nearly 1%, gaining for the fourth straight session. The Sensex gained 456 points, ending at 60,571. The Nifty also gaining, ending at over 18,000. The latest US annual inflation figures are out, easing slightly in August. The inflation rate was higher than expectations. The prices were 0.1% higher month on month, but it eased to 8.3% from 8.5% in July. So US inflation down slightly for the second straight month and easing mainly because of lower gasoline prices. Well, African cheetahs are now getting ready to leave for India. The Prime Minister is marking his birthday in a Madhya Pradesh National Park where the cheetahs will arrive. Here is exclusive footage of the cheetahs making their way to India and what the preparations are to make sure that the operation goes successfully.
After over 70 years, cheetahs will be in India again. An ambitious translocation project will bring cheetahs from Namibia to Kuno National Park. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating the translocation project on September 17th, which is also his 72nd birthday. The first batch of 8 cheetahs will come from Namibia directly to Jaipur. Then on the 17th, they will be transported via helicopter to Kuno in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Modi will release the first batch of cheetahs in an enclosure built especially for the big cats. Here they will undergo a 30-day quarantine period.
जितने भी स्टैंडर्ड मानक हैं, जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मानक हैं, सभी का पालन किया जा रहा है. जैसे क्वारंटाइन की व्यवस्था हो, चीतों को लाकर 30 दिन तक क्वारंटाइन में रखा जाएगा. उनके सभी जो हेल्थ के पैरामीटर्स हैं, उनकी मॉनिटरिंग की जाएगी और उसके बाद जब ये पाया जाएगा कि वो पूरे स्वस्थ हैं, उनका परीक्षण करने के बाद उनको बड़े एनक्लोजर में डाला जाएगा.
India is hoping this will give a great thrust to domestic tourism.
एक कार्यक्रम के माध्यम से लोगों को जलाने का, उनको जोड़ने का, स्कूली बच्चों को विशेष करके उनको जो वन्य प्राणियों के साथ कैसे लोग जुड़े, जो एक फ्रेंडली मित्रवत व्यवहार कैसे उनके साथ हो.
Project Cheetah aims to bring 50 cheetahs to various parks in India over the next 5 years. With Himanshu Shekhar Jha, Gargi Rawat for NDTV.